In today's video, we're just gonna take it nice and easy. We're gonna sit here, I have my hot tea, and we're gonna have ourselves a little chat on something I get asked frequently. How to not be confused when decorating your home. I'm gonna give you 7 steps in this video to help take the confusion out, to get you started to decorating the home the way that you really want it. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested, I'd love for you to hang around and give this video a thumbs up if you end up enjoying it. This whole video idea came about by that thumbnail that you saw, where I'm like, why am I fighting my design style? Let me tell you a little bit what I mean about this in order for all of this to make sense. So bear with me here and listen to this, because every single one of these things that I'm going to tell you is probably going to relate to you if you find this kind of video something that you're really needing. As we all know, right now, there is a certain style out there that's very popular. Everyone's seeing it everywhere. You've got the kind of orangish leather couches. They're using a lot of like neutrals and black, and I decided to jump on that bandwagon because I see items that I like. Obviously, as you can see here in my home, that is not my style, but I did a few things in my dining room that I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that because that's like so in right now. And then after I did it, why didn't I love it? Here's the big takeaway from it. If it's not your style, you're not going to love it. Have you ever went to someone's house and they just had like a beautiful picture hanging on the wall and you're like, oh wow, I just love that. And then so you find out where they get it, you go and you buy one for your own home. But then it doesn't look good and you're moving it here and you're moving it there and you can't figure out, why does this not look good in my house? Because it's not your style. So that is something that we're going to talk about today, so we don't make those mistakes and we don't make those wrong purchases to where we end up with just a bunch of stuff that doesn't go together and doesn't look good in our home. Okay, let's start with step number 1. Step number 1 to this is the foundation of how we're going to define our design style. It's going to involve heading to Pinterest and starting to figure out what catches our eye and what we really like. I would like for you to pin 40 to 50 pictures. I know that seems like a lot, but I want you to just pin them based on whatever you like in the photo. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to like the whole room. It could just be like, oh, I really like that sofa, or oh wow, I love what they have on their coffee table, and that kind of thing. So just start pinning pictures and photos. Pictures and photos are the exact same thing, Leslie. Just start pinning pictures of things that you like. We'll begin there. That's how we're going to start with step number 1. So if you don't use Pinterest, you could always use magazines and you could cut out pictures of things that you're inspired by. Do you have coffee table books that have different photos in it? There are other ways that aren't digital. It's just Pinterest has just got such a vast amount on there. It can really like give you great ideas. Okay, so we're gonna move right into step number 2, because step number 1 and step number 2, they kind of go together. So in step number 2, I want you to make a style board on Pinterest. And if you're not using Pinterest, I want you to collect all your photos together in an easy to store place. Like, do you want to pin them all on a board? Do you want to keep them all in a box together? Just some area to keep them organized. Okay, so once you make a style board on your Pinterest, it just really is a nice place to go to look through the pictures that drew your attention, which is gonna lead us right into step number 3. We're really cruising through these steps. When you get to step number 3, this is so important. I want you to wait a few days after you have pinned the pictures of the things that you were drawn to, because sometimes you just need to come back and you need to look at it through fresh eyes. Then I want you to review your photos. Once you review your photos, you're actually probably going to shock yourself, because I've done this before and there have been many times that I was like, why in the world did I pin that? What was I liking in this photo? When you come along, across photos like that, take those out, eliminate those. That'll help clear up your style board and really start to hone in on what you enjoy about the style of that photo. In step number 4, we're going to identify the common elements that you keep choosing in your photos. Are you picking certain fabrics over and over? Are you picking certain metals and woods and furniture style? This right there is going to start to indicate what your design style is. Do you have a whole bunch of like white and marble, or do you have a whole bunch of like rustic wood? Pull those items out in the description. You can update them in the little description box so you can keep track, and those are your design elements. Those are what you like, what you want to see in your home. Step number 5, this is where you're going to give your design style a name. So as you just saw in step number 4, you identified the elements that were what you were drawn to, what you kept going through in your 40 to 50 pictures. And so what I want you to do now is I want you to name that style. And one of the easiest ways to do that is usually write in the description on the Pinterest post. A lot of times you'll see a picture and it'll say modern farmhouse, it'll say art deco, it'll say industrial. Something I want to do for you to help make this a little easier if you struggle with naming that design style that you're seeing, I'm going to put in the description box down below for you guys a bunch of different design styles. So that way you can always reference those. If you're one who really struggles with decorating and you're confused and you would love what our motto here is tips for a truly beautiful home, I highly encourage you to sign up for my 4-week course that's going to be coming out here in February. There's a wait list over on my website. It's no obligation. You can just sign up to be on the wait list because there is going to be a limited number of spots. But the best part about this course that you're going to take, I know you might be like, Leslie, I've taken courses before and I really didn't get a lot out of it. This is going to give you something that normally you wouldn't get for such a low amount of money. You're going to actually get access to me. We're going to do a phone call. We're going to do a face-to-face Zoom call with the class, and we're going to go over design problems that you're having personally in your home. You're also going to have access to a private Facebook group that if you want to post photos for everyone in the community and me or my daughter to pop in and give you suggestions, like personalized suggestions, which I would have paid huge money for it. Somebody back in the day helped me. Like when I was like trying to figure out my curtains, you can post a photo of your windows and be like, hey guys, what do you suggest for this? And everyone in the community will be able to pop in, I'll pop in, and you'll actually, get your questions answered, not just a course where you have to figure every single thing out all by yourself. So if that's something that you'd be interested in the description box is a link to my website. Go sign up for the wait list and you'll hopefully make the cut and get to be in the class with us, and I'm super excited. Let's move back onto this, but for today's video, in the description box, I am going to leave the different design styles for you, for those who are confused with how to name a style. So that's number 6, is how to know your style. So Pinterest is a great way of showing you what that style is. Like I said earlier, it normally says it somewhere in the photo, somewhere in the description box, and that'll start to lead you. If you're a little confused and you're like, I think this is farmhouse, take that photo, put in farmhouse, say it was a living room, put in farmhouse living room, and then start to look at the photos that pop up. You're obviously going to see a common element in, amongst them, and you're going to be like, yes, it's absolutely modern farmhouse. And so that's how you're going to start to really know your design style. And step number 7 is the best thing ever. You're now going to make the best decisions for your style. No longer are you going to make the wrong decisions when you go into a store. Because I want you to remember, you're not going to go in a store and just buy unintentionally things that you like and think that they're going to come home and then just fit into your atmosphere. Because they're not. I want you to always go and shop purposefully. I want you to look for items that you know are your style and have a place for them, because otherwise you're going to waste your money, you're going to waste your time, and then you're not going to end up loving what you bought. I hope that this gave you some ideas of how to start to define your design style, how to not be confused when you're trying to plan out your space, and I hope to see you over in the course over on A Charming Abode, because I really want to give you tips for a truly beautiful home and set you up for success, because I want it to be your favorite place to be. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!